No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, you guys should meditate. It actually improves cognitive function. It's going to help you out with all things in your life. You know, when your boss is rude to you, when your partner's rude to you, whatever it is, that part of you, we call it the devilish functions, wants to lash out. And that's going to be fun. I've done that my whole life, but it's going to make things worse. So the more you meditate, the more grounded you will be, the less you will fight with your partner, and the more time you will have to watch sports. I know it seems like a paradox, but the Buddha says, meditate for an hour a day. If you have a lot to do, meditate for 2 hours that day. And that seems crazy, but all that time you spent stressed out and running around, not having any direction, knowing what to do, you could just be clear-minded. So it seems crazy. My partner and I do energy first. We always set the energy first, so our day flows. If our day flows, we have time at the end. We get everything done. We have time to watch TV at the end. If we just try and rush through everything, we end up bickering, getting nothing done, and just vegging out and watching TV without getting anything done. So it's like you think you don't have time for it, but you do. So here I am. I'm now the sports Buddha. Of course, my channel is mostly about sports, but also about some holistic health. I've quit drinking. I quit smoking. I'm out here to be the best dad I can be. We eat all organic. Even when we are naughty, we have organic donuts. So the sports Buddha is like, it sticks out. Like the Sandlot Chronicles wasn't getting people to click. So hopefully the sports Buddha can be just that. Thanks for clicking. If you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, drop a comment. Better yet, share with a friend, someone you think might like the content. Speaking of the content, let's get into it. Giants Niners. So my partner, Katya, she is from Russia. You can hear her from the name, Katya Maximova, obviously not from the Americas, not a football fan, just like the rest of the world. And I've tried this entire time to get her into it. I finally got her into football, and she's like, absolutely not. I will not do it. And whatever, fine, I'll watch football, but Niners only. So I was like, And I thought about it. And I can fight and try and kick and scrape to find time for my Giants, who aren't going to win anything this year. Or I can enjoy watching the kick-ass Niners, who I've always liked because they're my hometown team, vibe out with all my neighbors and stuff. One of my neighbors even already potentially invited me to a Niners-Seahawks game later this year, and get my partner into my passion so that we can enjoy it together. And then maybe she'll let Jackson watch just as we're ramping up into watching football. Boom, last week, the Niners had a good win against the Rams. And then this week, Giants, Niners. So she's going to get to see the best of both worlds. She's going to get to see what the Giants are all about. Hopefully they bring some heart like they did last week versus the Cardinals. And I do think it's quite possible they beat the spread. You know, they're supposed to lose by 10. And honestly, if I had to bet, I'm going to say they do lose. The Giants do lose by more than 10. And they could easily get splattered because their best player, Saquon Barkley, what's up? What's up, Bodie? I hope you like the Rebrand, my guy. The Rebrand, without Saquon Barkley, our best player, our workhorse, it's an uphill battle. The Niners are already a better team, and so now it's a better team going against the behemoth. But again, the Giants have some momentum. They were down 20-0 last week and came back and won 31-28 versus the Cardinals. And while the Cardinals aren't a powerhouse team, it's the same whether you're in business or you're in sports or whatever. You're not really playing against the other team. If you just are the best version of yourself, things are going to work out pretty well. And in this case, the Giants don't even have to win for things to work out. They just have to not lose. So not getting blown out, not lose by double digits. So if they lose by one touchdown, everyone's going to be hooting and hollering that they competed without their best player. And they did look pretty competent last week. Daniel Jones can absolutely run the ball. He's one of the top 5 best running quarterbacks in the league, and he's a big boy. So if Joey Bosa and the Niners pass rush tries to get in his face, he might slip a tackle. And then Darren Waller is looking like a problem out there. So the Giants do stand a chance. I'm not going to say they aren't, or they can't do it. But, gun to my head, I have seen the Giants lose by 40 to the Cowboys and going down by 20 to the Cardinals. That shows just how low they can get. And you can't slip up against the Niners. Like the Rams were up with the Niners, 17-17, they were right there. And then Fred Warner had a couple of where he has some really nice plays. He's leaning to the right. So the offensive line leans and then he just cuts in. And, Our left tackle, Andrew Thomas, who is questionable, is stalwart, but the rest are, we have a rookie center. Evan Neal was the worst right tackle in the league last year. So we definitely have some work to do on the trenches. And it's not like it's just Andrew Thomas going to go to work and save the day. Like, just like Micah Parsons was killing us in the middle, Fred Warner's going to do similar things. It's going to be a long day for Daniel Jones and company. And then there's playmakers on every level of Niners defense. I butchered it last week, but what is it? Tuafunga. Man, that's a rough name. How alone? Tufunga? I know it's Tufunga. I've got that. No, I don't know anything. Talanoa Hufanga. So Talanoa Hufanga is like Troy Polamalu, like reborn. He's just such a smart, heady player who also is hitting people. He was hitting people hard last week versus the Giants, versus the Rams. So knowing that they have someone at every level is scary. But that is my one thing I have faith for the Giants. I truly believe, just like in business, you need to have, like if you have a SDR, a sales development representative booking the sales, an AE closing the sales, and the marketing team driving the sales, you need to have all three levels. It's that way in football. You have the offensive line blocking, you have the skill players, and you have the quarterback. And then on defense, you have the big boys, the defensive line, the linebackers, and defensive backs. And for the first time in a while, the Giants actually are solid on all six fronts. Daniel Jones had the lowest interception percentage in the league last year. And again, top 5 running quarterback. So he's solid. He's not that superstar people want. But, Dak Prescott's not a superstar either. And the Cowboys are blowing people out this year. Total 70-10. So you don't need him to be a superstar. You got Andrew Thomas, who's an absolute animal. And then Evan Neal has the potential. He was dubbed the most athletic player in his draft. Our rookie center has shown some promise. So we actually do have some promise in the offensive line. And now our skill players are looking really nice. Jalen Hyatt blew the cover off the defense on that 58-yard reception last week. If Jones hadn't underthrown him a little bit, it's a 75-yard touchdown. Darren Waller, 6'6", 260. He's a matchup nightmare. And then we still have Slayton, Hodges, Wandale, and Shepard. So we've got plenty of receivers. We don't have that terrifying number one except for Waller. But, they're not holding us back anymore. And then same with the defense. The defensive line was terrific last year. That was really the only thing that helped us get to the playoffs. The defensive line, Daniel Jones and Saquon. And then now we've got Bobby Okereke, who's a really, really athletic middle linebacker. He actually had some splash plays in both games. He when we were still in the game versus the Cowboys, it was like 3rd and 7. And Tony Pollard caught a 5-yard pass and made a little move to get to the first down. Okereke just stopped him in his tracks. He hasn't gotten much playing time yet, but Isaiah Simmons is an absolute animal. He kind of like a Derwin James light, super athletic playmaker he plays most of his time in the slot. And at 6'4", 230, 240 actually, that's a really terrifying player to have in the slot. So you have him and Okereke. That's a bunch of size and speed to go along with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari. That's a lot of playmakers down there. And then we've always had Xavier McKinney in the back. Dane Belton is looking solid at strong safety. And then our corners, of course, are a work in progress. We really don't have a slot corner yet, but we do have 2 nice outside corners. Dory Jackson's very athletic. It was unfair he was going against CeeDee Lamb in the rain. That wasn't a good testament to what he's capable of. We'll see this week versus the Niners because, Debo, if Ayuk plays, and Kittle, those are all some really good playmakers. But the rookie, DeAndre Banks, has looked really good. Actually, against the Cowboys, he got penalized for buffing a guy, bumping and running too long. In college, you can go a little bit longer than they'll let you in the pros. In the pros, they want it to be an offensive league. So basically, he got penalized for being too good at his job. So rookies are going to make mistakes. If they make a mistake, being too good at your job is what you like to see. Anyways, I'm a firm realist now that I'm come in touch with my Buddhist self. I know that you have to accept the situation. I accept that the Giants aren't a powerhouse. The Niners are much better. The Eagles and Cowboys are much better. So making the playoffs would be fun, but I would be perfectly content winning a few games early in the year and then kind of just losing a bunch to the end, ending up 6-11 or 5-12, getting a 8-12 pick, and then trading up to top 2 to 5. Because as I said, we're missing that true number 1 alpha dog receiver. If we got Marvin Harrison Jr., he could blow the cover off defenses. So then you have to guard him, Waller, and Hyatt. It's cookies. They're not going to be able to do that and Saquon. So I'm down for the tank. So if we lose by 7, I'm going to be juiced. If we cover the spread, I'm there. We lost 40-0 to the Cowboys. Let's not do that again. But if we lose with honor for the rest of the year, Daboll's going to keep his job. He won Coach of the Year. He probably will anyways. He did enough to keep his job. So I think this could be a really good year for the Giants. Like, they've got a bunch of young players. If they just fight and lose with honor, I think it could be really good for our future. So I know no one likes tanking in week 2, especially after coming down from 20-0. But I just want us to come out and fight versus the Niners. And so let's, final predictions. I do think the Niners are going to have their way. Christian McCaffrey looked really, really good last week. Almost 106 total yards in the first half. So, gun to my head, I'd say they put up like 27 points and we'll get like 13-16. So, or 13-17. So, but yeah, final guess would be maybe like 27-16. So just under the 10 threshold. But then 27 plus 16 is 43. So that's the under as well. If 44, I would take the under, especially with the Niners taking their foot off the gas with Trent Williams, Ayuk, and Kittle all banged up. If they're ahead, they're not going to be, slamming it home. So again, thanks for listening, my friends. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, shoot it to a friend. And my guy, Bodie, thanks for always supporting. Be sure to check out Bodie, the movie maker. As his name points out, he's a great movie maker. He's got like 400-something subscribers. And I'm glad you dig the name, my friend. Memorable name for sure. And they say the thumbnail and the episode title is everything. But let's be honest, you see the name of the episode, the channel as well. So thanks for checking out the Sports Buddha. Namaste, my fellow sports friends and knowledge seekers.